Hello all. Today we will go through different ways of programming the NXG inverter. NXG inverter is the new inverter in the series of Jaguar series, and you will be able to actually see all the information about the Jaguar inverter, which was launched after many years of a Jaguar product. And this is successfully launched in February and it is available in stock. So today I thought we will just go through different ways of programming it. So the first way of programming it is using the standard keypad, which is a built-in keypad which comes along with the inverter. And as you can see, there is a program button, a run button, an enter button, a stop button, and a up and down arrow keys for changing from between different menus. So first, if you click on the program button, you will be able to actually see the program, the first parameter, which is P00. To move from one parameter, you can press the up arrow or down arrow. To get into one of the parameter, you will be able to actually press the enter button and you will be able to actually go to the sub menu of the P01 parameter in this case. So you'll be able to actually see P01.00. You can press enter again and you will be able to see the value of the parameter. You can change the value by pressing the up arrow key or down arrow key to come down to a different value. Also, this keypad also do have the run button and also the stop button. So these are to run the inverter as well as stop the inverter, but also you can use the stop button for resetting an error or a fault. There are other ways to program it. In this case, what I have is a 230 volt going into the drive, or in case of a 400 volt drive, you have to power up with a 400 volt input. But in this case, I have powered it up with a 230 volt. But there are other ways to program it as well, which is you will be able to use a LCD keypad or an LED keypad connected to this RJ45 connector. Alternatively, you will also be able to actually use a USB-C connected to a USB-A cable through connected to a laptop, and you will be able to actually program from a laptop. Or you do not need to even power up the inverter. You will be able to just use a power bank connected to this USB-C port, or you will be able to use a mobile phone charger to power up the drive. So we will check the next option, and the next option is using an LCD keypad. So you'll be able to actually see it is the part number is NXG KP LCD, and it uses a standard RJ45 Ethernet cable, and this can be plugged in to the RJ45 port in the front of the inverter, and it powers up, and you will be able to actually have more information regarding the performance and the current statuses of the drive. So you'll be able to actually see the set frequency, DC bus voltage. You will be able to program any of these menu items, and you will be able to actually press the program button or in the menu, and you will be able to actually go to different parameter groups. You'll be able to see grouping parameters, for example, and you will be able to do a quick setup for function code, and you will be able to actually go through different programming parameters, and you will be able to edit each of it as required. So in this case, which is a P02.00, you are programming the motor parameters. So you'll be able to see P02.00, you press select, and then you will be able to actually select whether it is a asynchronous motor or a synchronous motor. So likewise, you will be able to actually go through each of the parameters by pressing the up arrow key, or reverse, you will be able to press the down arrow keys to go back. You can press the return button to go back to the main menu, or return button again to go back to the previous menu, and you can press the home page for coming back to the home page. You do have an option for about, where you will be able to actually see what is the LCD keypad firmware versions and different other versions, including the VFD, which is the inverter firmware version. Press the return key, coming back to the home page. You will be able to press the monitor button, and you will be able to have different display parameters under stop condition as well as the run conditions. Here in this case, you will be able to actually see what's happening with the output frequency, set frequency, DC bus voltage, and different other parameters which you will be able to monitor. Also, you will be able to actually use an LED keypad. In this case, you will be able to see it is basically effectively a replacement of the keypad which you have built in with the inverter. It is exactly the same format, everything is exactly the same, and it goes to the same port as that of the RJ45 which you have connected the LCD keypad. And you will be able to see it powers up and it does exactly the same thing. So this will act as a remote keypad to mount into the panel door. And you will be able to see at the same time, you will be able to see the display is also on in the built-in keypad. So you can see two keypad displays. You will be able to go to the same programming parameters, P01. You can press the enter button and you can go to the submenu by that way. You can change to a different submenu and you can press the escape button to come back to the main menu. And so it does exactly the same function as that of the inbuilt keypad. As the next step, we will see how we will be able to actually program the inverter using a power bank or a mobile phone charger. So you can see now it has been powered up with the single phase AC input 230 volt to power up the inverter. Now I am going to switch it off and it goes to power off. As you can see, it goes to power off. Now I have a power bank which is connected to a USB-A, you will be able to see, and I have plugged it in, and the USB-C side goes to the programming port here and it powers up the drive. It still shows the P off, but you are able to program the inverter through the built-in keypad. So you can press the program button and you will be able to see the main menu. You can press the enter. You will be able to see the submenu. You can press the up arrow keys and you will be able to see and go through each of the parameters. You can press the enter button and you will be able to change each of the values. So in this case, I will be able to actually press the shift button and press enter, and I can change the values by pressing the down arrow keys or up arrow keys. And I will be able to press the escape, enter, escape to come back to the previous menu, enter to enter that value. So by this way, you will be able to actually program the inverter without any AC power, but by only using a power bank. Alternatively, you will be able to also use a mobile phone charger. Do exactly the same thing. The power goes to the USB-C port from a mobile phone charger and it powers up the drive for programming purposes. But please note, when the USB-C port is connected with a power from a power bank or a mobile phone charger, the RJ45 plug will not be activated for any remote keypads. So the next option to program the inverter, the Jaguar NXG inverter, is by using a USB-C connected to a USB-A port in the laptop. By this way, you will be able to actually program the drive using the software. You will be able to connect the software, the IMO Workshop software, directly to the inverter using the USB-C. So in this option, I have selected the communication type as COM, all the default parameters, and press OK. And you will be able to actually see down here as device online status as COM. And by this way, what you will be able to actually do, you will be able to actually see every single function codes from P00 to P98, and you will be able to edit any of the parameters by simply double pressing, and you will be able to actually select the options. By this way, not only you are able to see the individual parameter values like 0, 1, 2, but also you are able to see what those values corresponds to. In this case, you will be able to see the 0 corresponds to keypad, 1 corresponds to terminal, and likewise. So you'll be able to actually see any of these options, and you will be able to change any of these options by pressing this drop down. These are the multiple ways to program. The reason for having these different ways of programming is to make sure every customer have the options required in the current circumstances where the customer is in. It could be in the site where he is programming quickly. It could be during the commissioning stages. It could be during the panel wiring stages, where it is so easy to program the inverter using a power bank or a mobile phone charger rather than looking for a 200 volt or a 450 15 volt AC. Thank you.